Welcome, coming to you from Vermont, Salt and Sand Studios. My name is Karen. Great to practice with you today. And today's practice is in honor of Black lives and racial justice. So if you are planning to donate, please donate to the charity of your choice that is applicable, not to the studio today. Today, we're about boosting energy. And a lot of that will be done with the breath and through heart opening, which also gives space for the breath. But as a reminder, of course, if there's anything today or in any yoga practice that does not work for your body, especially if it hurts, stop doing it, modify it, or choose another posture that feels similar. Typically, child's pose is a good place to go for any reason or no reason at all, or anything from down dog can be taken from tabletop. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get started finding maybe a seat on your cushion. Legs crossed if it feels okay, maybe out in front with a bolster underneath them, or perhaps sitting on the ground with something underneath the feet can be helpful for the pelvis. Go ahead and let the eyes drop a little closed, maybe half mast or maybe all the way. And if the palms can face upward in some way, allow that to happen. Of course, nothing is required. Your practice, not mine. I'm just here as your guide. The chin tucks a little bit in toward the chest, and the back of the head presses into what you're in an imaginary headrest in the car. Let the shoulders roll a little downward and draw the belly in and up and the tailbone down. Recognize the breath without changing it. Notice whether it is shallow or deep, which is all relative. And notice whether you're feeling any anxiety or any sluggishness or depression. Anxiety and depression, different forms of roughly the same stress response. We'll start to even out the breath, breathing in to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. For 5. In. 5 and out. 1 again in. And out. For 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last time, your count. Big, huge breath in through the nose. Release it out the mouth. Return to a natural breath and see what you notice. Any difference in the breathing? Maybe a little bit of settling of the mind. Perhaps the spine's a little straighter. The heart feels a little bit more open. Bring to mind an intention or a motivation or maybe a dedication for the practice. On the next breath in, arms spread wide, right out of the shoulders. Fingers have space between them. The heart lifts a little bit as you draw the shoulder blades together and the belly long. Breathe out. Next, inhale, sweep the arms high like you're reaching for the sky. Pause when the palms press together and then lift bodies to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe out. Begin the more active part of the practice to the sound of Om. Not required to join in, but if you would like to, we'll breathe all the air from the lungs. Breathe in nice and deep. We'll take a few postures, continuing the breath work in a way that expands the breath and brings energy into the body, refills the tank a little bit. So we're going to start. I'll continue facing you to start. We're going to start in with a lion's pose, lion's breath. And that means coming onto, sitting onto the heels of the feet. Not that you have other heels on, oh, you do, heels of the hands. And if you like, maybe make a little space between the knees and or a little space between the feet. If this is difficult, you can always come with legs crossed, or you might try putting a blanket on top of the calves behind the knees, or maybe you have some sort of block or pillow underneath your seat. The idea is not to make it painful for you, but to make it easier to find this posture. When we sit on our heels, assuming that our body is reasonably comfortable there, it gives us the opportunity to lift the chest a little bit higher. We're going to make the arms long and the fingers really wide. In the full expression of the posture, the hands are over the knees, but that makes me lean forward. So I'm leaning backward a little bit to tuck my tailbone. I've got nice, long, straight elbows here. My chin is a little tucked. And in this breath work, when we breathe out, we'll express a sound, the sound of ha, almost like you're working to really quickly blow out birthday candles on a cake. And when you exhale, the tongue will release from the mouth and the eyes get really wide. So you may have seen something akin to this in movies or documentaries in the past, relative to Polynesian or Maori or other types of cultures that utilize some approaches to fight. But this is really oriented toward building energy. So we'll take a long breath in. Release it all. Breathe all the way out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in again for lion's breath. Let it all go. Release the tension. Breathe in and out. Full breath in again. And release and breathe naturally. For the next posture, you're welcome to stay here or come to a seat with your legs crossed. We're going to take a victory sort of stance with the arms. Kapalabhati breath, breath of victory with the breath. Before we lift the arms up, put the hands on the belly and imagine, again, like we just did, the breathing out really quickly to blow the candles out on a birthday cake. So breathe in, breathe out. So you're wrapping the abdominal muscles all the way around the rib cage as if you're forcing the breath out. We'll take that again. Breathe in, breathe out. And this time, hands drop by the sides. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, breath in, press them behind you, breath out and down. Inhale, arms float. They're going to pause in a parallel to the floor shape. We're going to gently curl the fingers and point the thumbs upward. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. And now on the next inhale, we raise the arms into a V, keeping the thumbs and fingers as they are without squeezing the hands too much. Then we'll go ahead and take Kapalabhati breath, the breath of fire or breath of victory. We're going to do it 5 times if that works for you. So we'll breathe in nice and deep, and then 5 times we'll force the air partly out by pressing the belly in, as if we're blowing out a candle with 5 breaths through the nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and out. We'll take that again. Long breath in. And let it go. This time, your choice. You can go slower or faster. You might even go to 10. I will work it a little faster to 10, but take your own time, use your pace. Breathe in. Let it all go. Breathe in, arms reach high. Unwrap the fingers. Exhale, hands drop down. Nice. Find your way now into a child's pose. You might feel a little more energized. You might feel a little bit more like there's space for the breath. Let the head drop on something and wrap the forehead left and right. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Palms come together so the pinky fingers are on the ground, the thumbs point to the sky. Elbows bend so the fingers come to the nape of the neck or between the shoulder blades, and gently walk the elbows forward a little bit, one at a time, finding a little more opening along the shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. We'll draw up a tabletop, allowing the wrists to move below the shoulders and the knees below the hips. And we have a tendency to drop into this sort of cow shape with the belly dropping down. See if you can tuck the tailbone a little bit and then reach the sitting bones behind you. That activates the belly. Nose faces the mat. On a breath in, the right leg floats behind you off the mat. See if you can keep your balance, retaining the hips square to the front of the mat. On an exhale, draw the knee to the nose, press the floor away. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Breathe in, get long. One more time, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen back out. Ankle circles, open and close the toes, and then float the left arm long in front, finding balance, belly really strong. Reach as if the heel and the fingertips could make you taller. Hand and knee return to the mat, and any adjustment the body requires to come back into tabletop. This time we will take a cow shape. Drop the belly, breathe in, lift the gaze and the hips. Cat shape, squeeze the belly up, breathe out, press the floor away with the tops of the feet, the knees, and the hands. Inhale for your neutral spine. Full round of breath. And on the next breath in, slowly the left leg floats behind as if you're stepping on the wall. Pause. If you are really light in the right hand, maybe you press a little more energy into the index finger and the thumb. On an exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, press the floor away. Inhale, extend the leg out. Nose points down. Exhale, knee to nose. Get long, breath in. And one more time. Pause for strength and power, then float the right arm in front. Get long, long, long. See if you can make a little bit more space amongst all the knuckles of the spine. Exhale, hand and knee to the mat. Any movement that feels good for you here, take that. Maybe hip circles. And if it feels like you missed doing the ankle circles and the toe opening, go ahead and make that happen with the left leg. Hands walk forward a couple of inches, toes tuck under. We'll begin to activate the belly and the thighs a bit more as we press the floor away, remaining low, and press the chest toward the thighs. Breathe here. 3, 2, exhale, downward dog. Heels draw toward the mat. A direction, not a destination. Maybe you pedal into the feet and the knees. Finding extension in the spine. Pause for a moment. See if the sitting bones can draw to the upper back corner of the room and the belly moves inward. Breathe in, come to the tiptoes. Exhale, drop the heels to the right. We're finding a little twisty opening. Working to have equal connection in both hands to the mat. Breathe in, come back to the tiptoes. Exhale, drop the heels to the opposite side. Inhale, rise back to the tiptoes. Bend the knees a lot. Look past your hands. Take a walk all the way to the hands for a forward fold. Uttanasana. Maybe a ragdoll. Loosen the head. Imagine the top body is draping over the thighs. Keeping your elbows as they are. We're going to roll to standing on a long breath in so that when the shoulders stack over the hips, the forearms come over the head. Take your time. Next breath in, cactus arms. Inhale, drop the hands by your sides, mountain pose. Take the heels of the hands to the low back, right where the fleshy part meets the back. And widen the fingers, press the flesh downward. We're going to shift the hips forward an inch or two. Continue to tuck the tailbone forward. Extend the front of the body. Press the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Maybe you stay here for a moment, or maybe you take that all one more time, pressing the flesh downward behind you, shifting the hips forward. Front of the body from the pelvis to the sternum gets really long. Shoulder blades gather together, the heart lifts. This time, maybe the head can drop back. Standing back bend. And if it feels okay for you, one hand at a time, drops lower, extending the arms to intertwine the fingers. Draw the shoulder blades super, super, super tight. Reach the collarbones, lift the heart, the knuckles move toward the ground. Beautiful. Deep breath in. On an exhale, stack the shoulders over the hips. Sit into a modified chair pose, working energy into your heels. If the belly is just sort of hanging out, see if you can draw it in and up. We're going to rise up to the tiptoes, drop into our seat a little bit more, keeping the heels floating, and bring the heels down, forward fold. Big inhale. Exhale, hands drop to the ground. Inhale, find a halfway lift, hands glide up the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll to standing like you're a slinky. Arms sweep high. Once again, with soft knees, fold over your legs. Hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, long flat spine. Exhale, hands plant. The step of the left foot way to the back of the mat. Pause for a moment. Maybe heel toe the right foot out to the right to make appropriate distance left to right between the feet before you drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Go ahead and take the palm of the right hand, place it outside the right knee for a little twist. Pressing energy from the knee into the hand. Breathe in, spine lengthen, shoulders come away from the ears. Breathe out, twist. If it feels okay, then maybe the hand comes to the low back, perhaps to the heart with the elbow reaching high. And maybe from there, the arm sweeps upward, unfurling to the stars. Breath in, breath out. Extend the leg in front of you. Draw the left hip over the left knee to find our Hanumanasana, half split. Toes reach for the stars or your torso. Maybe the hands walk backward a little bit. Maybe there's something underneath the fingertips. Reach the heart forward, belly long and strong. Exhale, fold over your leg. See if you can keep the leg long and press the ball of the front foot onto the ground. It will feel very different. Reach the heart long again. You might feel this in the front of the shin. Peel the foot off the mat. Reach the heel forward, the toes back. One more time. Exhale, press the ball of the foot to the ground. And reach the toes back, heel forward. Breathe in, shoulders to the hips. Breathe out, fold. The sole of the right foot returns to the mat. You might need to glide the foot backward a little bit. Tuck the back toes under to find runner's lunge. Press the left heel away and the knee comes toward the quad. Left hand down, right arm high, deepening the twist. Big breath in. Exhale, right hand outside the right foot. Take your time gliding or stepping or floating the left foot up to meet the right for forward fold. Gently float all the way to standing. Arms sweep high overhead. Exhale, palms together at your heart. If you're at all like me, now your right leg feels a little bit longer than the left leg. We're going to take that on the other side. Mountain pose, breath in, arms float high. Palms together, fold, drape over the legs, knees soft. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot glides way to the back of the mat. Maybe you adjust your stance left to right or front to back, finding a runner's lunge shape with the left knee over the left ankle. Back knee taps down to the ground, the toes untuck. Left hand comes outside the left knee. Keeping the right hand down, breathe in, get long in the spine. Press energy from the hand to the knee to the hand. Exhale, twist. Spine gets long, breath in. Exhale, twist. Again, finding any variation that works for your body while you keep the left knee pointing as straight forward as you possibly can. Mindfully on the next breath out, left hand plants outside the left foot. For a half split, the left leg extends in front of you. Right hip comes over the right knee, or maybe a little forward of that knee, depending on how much stretchiness you have in this moment. We're going to work a nice long spine. Toes toward the torso. Reach the heart toward the shin for your fold. You don't have to come very deep. Next, exhale, ball the foot presses toward the mat. Pause here. It will feel very different. For me, I feel it all along the inside of the shin. Reach the heel forward, the toes back, shifting the hips back a little bit. Exhale, ball of the foot to the mat. Inhale, extend the heel, lift the toes. One more time, ball of foot to the mat. Toes toward the torso, fold maybe a little bit deeper. Slide the sole of the left foot onto the mat to find runner's lunge by tucking the back toes under. Maybe shorten your stance a tiny bit, depending on how deep your half split was. Right hand down, left arm unfurls, unravels, open up your twist. Right heel reaches behind and it reaches to the sky. One more breath in, big, big breath. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Right foot glides or steps up or floats to meet the left for a forward fold. Press the floor away like you're creating a sunrise with the body. Arms float high overhead. Exhale, cactus arms. Drop the hands by the sides, mountain pose. Maybe the eyes closed. The heart is reaching upward. Collarbones smile. Arms really heavy right out of the sockets. Go ahead and float the arms partway up. Inhale, so they're 90 degrees from the ground, coming right out of the shoulders, out to the sides. Fingers nice and wide. Make a tiny little extra space between the feet, maybe 3 or 4 fists with distance. Shift the hips forward, lift the front body, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the gaze. Keeping the belly nice and strong, press the hands to the heart, long, flat spine as you fold halfway down, maybe soft knees. Once you reach the halfway mark, drop the chin toward the chest. Keep the belly strong. You need to soften the knees more for your low back or your hamstrings. Go ahead and do that. Press your way up on a breath in, hands by your sides. Breath out. Inhale, spread the arms side to side. Exhale, reach the arms outward. Hips forward, front of the body long, shoulder blades squeeze together. Inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, palms together, gather the belly in, halfway down, fold. Chin comes toward the chest, belly long and strong. We'll take that one more time. Inhale, rise up, flat back, mountain pose. Exhale. Inhale, arms float up, wide, right out of the body. Exhale. Inhale, shoulder blades draw together, hips shift forward. Front body gets long, drop the head. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart, lower halfway down, long spine. Active belly, chin drops toward the chest. Press up to standing, mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Step the left foot halfway back on the mat. Maybe widen your stance a little bit more so the hips can stay square to the front of the mat. And take the fingertips and jam them into your hip creases. If you're not sure where they are, find the top of the thighs where it meets the hips. Now see if you can rock and roll forward and backward all the way around the feet to find some equilibrium in the body. Once you've settled, so you're not all the way into the back leg or way into the front leg, you're evenly distributed with your weight. Breathe in nice and deep. Gather the belly in. Exhale, fold halfway down. Use the fingertips to press the sitting bones behind you. Tuck your chin toward your chest so the back of the neck is nice and long. Maybe you stay here, drawing the shoulders toward the hips and the navel in and up, or perhaps you find a full Parsvottanasana, lowering the hands all the way down to the mat or to blocks. In my case, I'm widening, extending my stance a little bit so I can draw the right hip behind me and get the stretch. Big breath in. Exhale, left foot steps up to meet the right. A little apart, sit down in the air and see if you can shift your weight back into your heels, keeping the fingertips on the ground. Draw the tailbone down and the belly in. Very slowly float the hands by the hips and see if you can lift the heart a little bit. Keep the belly strong. Inhale, arms by the ears. Keeping the arms straight in front. See if you can press the shoulders over the hips. Modified chair pose. Shoulder blades move toward each other. Arms float high overhead. I know. This is a hard one. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hands return to the hips. This time the right foot steps halfway back on the mat. Finding a little space left to right, not a ton of space front to back. We'll rock and roll forward and backward and side to side to find a little bit of equilibrium rather than shifting all the way into the back leg or all the way into the front leg. Fingertips into the hip creases, shoulder blades together, belly draws upward and in. Exhale, halfway down. Fingers push into the hip creases to send the sitting bones behind. Shoulders toward the hips, belly long. Stay here with the chin tucking toward the chest and a long back neck. Or exhale, find your fold all the way down. Breath in. Exhale, back foot steps up to meet the front. This time, your choice for chair. If your knees are not in any pain or discomfort or agony, you can bring the big toes to connect. The little space between the heels. We're going to do the same sequence we did before, sitting into the chair that is not there, shifting a little weight into the heels, breathing in to sweep the hands behind you. Heart lifts a little bit. Chest is opening. Inhale, arms sweep by the ears. Sink a little deeper. Let the shoulders come over the hips so the arms are right in front. Ooh, lots of work here. Draw the shoulder blades together, then the arms overhead, chair pose. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Woo! Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back for a high plank. Pause to lengthen here, fingers nice and wide. Keep the belly strong, breathe in, exhale right to downward dog. Inhale, roll slowly forward to your plank. Pause. Fortify the thighs, reach the heels behind, breathe in, exhale, downward dog, lift the hips. Take another round of that peel forward plank. Pause to feel its power. Monitor what the body is doing and accept rather than decline the posture. Breathe in, exhale, hips lift. This time, roll forward to plank. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes. I'm going to find a couple of back bends here. We'll still have one more standing posture, but we'll start with the hands under the shoulders. Press the tailbone down. Get the front body long as you breathe in, press the floor away, the heart lifts forward and up. Exhale down to the mat. Take that again, breath, heart peels upward. Maybe the hands float away from the mat. Use the back, use the belly, use the shoulder blades, loosen the glutes, breathe in, exhale, head to the mat. One more back bend, maybe a little deeper this time, hands outside the chest or at your low rib cage. Breathe in, press the floor away, reach the belly long, shoulder blades together, collarbones wide, breath in. Exhale all the way to the mat. Child's pose. Downward dog. Hands walk to the feet for a forward fold at the back of the mat. Let the head go. Maybe ragdoll, yogi toe lock, or perhaps the hands come behind the shins or ankle, or maybe behind the thighs. Release any bind you have. Press the floor away. Rise to standing. Arms sweep high. Exhale, hands to your heart. We've been using the scientific evidence that the way we work the breath, not just monitoring it, but controlling it using pranayama, the breath control practice, is supportive of managing our physical and emotional responses to stress. Fingers nice and wide in prayer. Drop the nose towards the fingers. Very slowly, maybe toe to heel or heel to toe, but super slowly, make your way to the front of the mat, paying attention to the body, to the sensations, and to the breath. Once you're at the front of the mat, very gently shift your weight into your right foot and float the left knee upward. Extend the leg in front if you can. Knee might remain bent. Step the foot way behind as if you're coming to warrior two, but go ahead and turn toward the side, the long edge of the mat. Bring the heels in and the toes out. Float the arms high. Cactus arms. Check that the knees are not extending in front of the middle toes. And see if you can tuck the tail a little bit, maybe sit a little bit deeper. On the next breath in, press into the feet to rise up, arms high. Exhale, sink down, cactus arms. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, like doors of a saloon, the forearms come together, the palms to your face. Breathe in. Exhale, sink. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, arms like doors come in front of you. Pinkies together. Lift the elbows shoulder height or higher. Sink a little deeper. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink down. Right heel floats away from the mat. Sink down. Right heel comes back. Left heel floats from the mat. Drop your tailbone. Heel to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, arms together in front of you. Inhale, both heels off the mat. Exhale, sink down. Pause. Use the belly. Drop the heels to the mat. Inhale, rise up, both arms high. Woo! Exhale, cactus arms, hands to your hips. We'll bring the right foot parallel to the front of the mat. Maybe bring the heel out. Point the left toes to what has been the back of the mat. Maybe extend the stance a bit to find warrior two. Front palm flips, reverse the warrior. Maybe sink a little deeper into the front knee. Side angle for a moment, forearm inside the thigh. Right arm sweeps around. Maybe it's right over the bicep, or perhaps it's lengthened toward the sky to open the heart. Return to warrior two. Hands to hips. Extend your left leg. Bring the foot parallel to that side of the mat. Point the right toes forward, back to the front of the mat. Knee bends. Warrior two. Front palm flips, reverse the warrior. Side angle, forearm comes inside the front thigh. Left arm sweeps around over the ear, heart opens up, or maybe left fingertips straight to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows. Strong back leg, active front leg. Return to warrior two. Hands to your hips. Step to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms float, 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 float. Exhale, maybe a swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, hands plant, step or float to find a high plank. Make your way to a low plank, knees might be down. Breathe in for a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. On a breath in, right leg floats off the mat. Open up the downward dog, right hip stacks over the left. Bend the knee, maybe ankle circles. On an inhale, the leg returns long and strong. On a breath out, right foot steps outside the right hand. Toes point to the right and the back knee comes to the mat. You might stay here for your twist, taking the right palm inside the right knee and pressing it away from you. Maybe you add a quad stretch to this, bending into the left knee and reaching around with the right hand, which might or might not reach the foot. Either way, see if you can get long in the spine on the breath in and twist, wide open heart on the breath out. If the foot is lifted, gently return it to the mat. Bring the outer heel, the right heel, to parallel the toes. Flip the foot open like a book. And then you might remain as you are or walk the hands forward for a full expression of lizard pose with the forearms on the mat. If you'd like more of a challenge, you might tuck the back toes under, squeeze the left kneecap toward the left quad, and reach the heel behind you. This is a perfect posture where we can perfectly resist rather than allowing ourselves to settle in and gain the benefit. When we allow the posture to take place, to evolve, as opposed to trying to find perfection or preventing ourselves from softening into the posture, we often hurt our body. But if we don't resist, we can gain benefit physically and mentally. Hands walk back underneath the shoulders. Maybe return to a tabletop for a moment to re-find a little balance in the body. Hands walk forward, toes tuck under, hips lift. We'll take that on the other side. Left leg floats high. Open up the downward dog. Find an opening in the hips, the ankle circles. Extend the leg once more, breath in. Exhale, footsteps outside the left hand. Toes point out, back knee drops. Here you find your lizard twist, maybe with a quad stretch. Big breath in. Exhale, hand inside the left foot. Drop the back knee gently. Right heel and toes come parallel. Foot opens like a book. Maybe stay there, or perhaps find your lizard with the forearms reaching in front. Maybe an extended back leg. Back knee gently drops. Hands walk back toward the shoulders. We're going to make our way all the way to a seat. And swing the legs around in front. Start with some bent knees and the heels reaching forward. Long, long, long spine. At this point, the chest, shoulders, collarbones, and the rib cage should be pretty open to find length on the breath in and reach the heart forward on the breath out. Paschimottanasana. On an inhale, rise up. Arms float in front. They lock back into the shoulders, heart high, belly strong. Exhale, come all the way down to the mat. Once you're there, the knees move one at a time in toward the heart for a good squeeze. Back of the neck is long. Knees drop over to the left side. Maybe a little shift of the hips backward or the shoulders toward the left for your twist. Shoulder blades, almost as if they're magnetically attracted to the center of the earth. Take a lion's breath here. Gently move your way to the opposite side. You might lift the hips up first, send them over to the left before you drop the knees to the right. Adjusting anywhere you need to gain the most benefit from the physical posture, and also to relax any amount of stress response. We add lion's breath that will benefit. Huge breath in. Soles of the feet return to the mat. Hips shift back to center. Maybe one more squeeze of the knees into the heart. A squeeze of the knees. A knee squeeze. Bee's knees, if you please. And final resting posture, Shavasana. Feet have some space between them. The toes just drop outward. The hands follow, palms face up. Maybe one last final release of breath, lion's breath. Let it all go. And become mindfully aware once again of the breath and its power on the mind itself, on the spirit, and on the body. Begin to reawaken the body by deepening the breath and using that breath to return movement into the limbs, into the belly, shoulders, neck, and head, until you can find your way onto whichever side feels most natural. Knees drawn in toward the heart. Maybe a hand under your head. Come back to your intention, motivation, or dedication. Consider what it is from that or the practice itself you'll bring into the world when you walk off the mat today. And bring to mind someone who will benefit from that. Maybe It's a loved one. Maybe it's someone you don't know. Maybe it's a whole group of people. Maybe it's yourself. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Eyes can remain closed or at half mast. Hands make their way back to your heart where they find their home. Tuck the tailbone. Extend the spine. We'll close with a final chant of Om if you'd like to join in. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Full, complete breath in. Thumb knuckles connect with the space right between and above the eyebrows. May your practice benefit yourself and all beings. May all beings live in harmony. Namaste. With gratitude for the practice that brings us together, the technology that allows it, all those who support Black Lives Matter, racial justice, and ourselves. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.